Hello there, it's Graham here, Black73 Cat. Hope you're all well, guys, and welcome back. So I'm going to attempt to do an inbox review, or an unboxing review, whatever you want to call it, of this lovely little kit from ICM, which is the Model T 1913 Speedster. I first saw this during the International Scale Modeler live show on a Friday night, 7:30 UK time. Check it out on YouTube. Where Tim was going through his latest kit releases, etc., and he featured this, and as soon as I saw it, I wanted it. It looks absolutely gorgeous, iconic car, obviously, and it just really caught my attention. For two reasons, really. Well, because it gives me two options. I could either do it pristine, as you see on the box, or I think it would make a very good barn find. And with my current penchant for rust and degradation, I could well end up doing a barn find out of it. But we'll see. I think it's too pretty to do that. But then again, it was a very good price. I bought it from Nikki at Veteranous Models. I think it cost me about £17 posted in the UK. So it's not an expensive kit. So if it goes together well, and I enjoy the build, I could well build another one, and then I could have this nice shiny one and a nice dusty barn find as well. So I've built one ICM kit before, which was the I16 Polycarpov. I have to say it was a really good kit. I really enjoyed building it. We did that as part of a buddy build on ISM just before Christmas. And yeah, I loved the build. I really enjoyed everything about it. So I'm hoping that this is going to give me similar good feels. So lovely box art, great photograph of the original vehicle. Stunning looking thing. You just can't deny it. I love the way the cars were built back in those days. Just beautiful, really. I mean, that was pioneering technology at the time. And yeah, but you can say that a lot of modern cars are good looking. I don't know. These old ones, they just look gorgeous. Maybe it's a bit of nostalgia. Obviously, I wasn't around in 1913. There we go. So it's 1/24th scale. Kit number is 24015. Should you wish to get one yourself. A little bit of information on the side of the box. Just make sure that's in shot. One of the most numerous and famous cars in the world history was the Model T, produced by Ford Motor Company. It became the first mass production car affordable for middle class. The first example of the Model T was built in September 27th, 1908. It had a four-cylinder engine of 22.5 horsepower. The mass production was launched at the Highland Park Ford plant, Michigan, since the beginning of 1914. That's badly translated, isn't it? It's ICM, a Ukrainian company, so there's a little bit lost in translation there. They produced lots of cars, 15 million, I think that is, 1.5 million, I don't know, numbers, since 1908 till 1927. They're produced in different types. In particular, some 1913 cars have been converted into Speedsters. So this box contains an unassembled plastic kit with a length of 142mm and a height of 67mm. It's 99 parts, and obviously you need to supply your own cement and paint to finish the model. Obviously it's from ICM. It says you shouldn't be touching this if you're under 14. Why 14? I don't get it. They all say 14, don't they? So that's that side. This side is just another little sort of Photoshop attempt at the box art, which is a bit weird, but yeah. And then a few, what do you call them? Not real pictures on the side, which I believe are the same ones that are on the colour call out in the back of the instruction book, and then nothing on that one either, other than another pretty picture. So we shall have a look inside, and this is the usual ICM sort of strange box affair, where the lid of the box is actually not really necessary. It's just there for decorative purposes, because under the lid, if I can get it off, is another box. Try to keep in shot here. So there we go. That is what's inside. Now then, all I've done is this. This is as far as I've got. I've opened the box up and had a look inside, and I noticed straight away that all of the parts are in one bag, which isn't great. And that's all that's in there, other than the instruction book. So we'll put the box to one side, and we'll have a quick look at the instructions first. Now then. When I first got my Polycarpov from the i16, I was really impressed by the quality of the instruction book, because that wasn't an expensive kit either, and this certainly isn't expensive. But the quality of this instruction manual, I think, is very, very good. It's on lovely glossy paper. Well, certainly the outer side is, but the inner pages are nice and heavy duty. A little bit of a sheen to them. Just feels like a good quality piece of document. First part is in, I assume that's Ukrainian or Russian or something, I don't know, it's something like that. And then this is the side that we want to build, which repeats pretty much what we want to read, which pretty much repeats what was on the side of the box. And then it gives some tech specs of the actual car itself. It was a 2.9 litre engine, producing only 22.5 horsepower. Blimey. Apparently had a maximum speed of 80 kilometres an hour. Wow. Then there's just the usual caution: read the instructions carefully. Don't drink glue and all that kind of stuff. And then colour callouts, so callouts for the paint, both Revell and Tamiya colours. And then your usual sort of what all the little symbols mean. But then we go to usual sprue maps, which are very clearly laid out. I'm assuming that these parts here are not needed. I'll just double check that. Yeah, parts not for use. So these parts aren't needed, which maybe means there's an alternative version due for release later on. I haven't looked, like I say, I haven't opened the bags to look at the sprues themselves yet, but that's pretty well laid out. Although, am I missing? Oh no, it's right in the middle. I was saying I couldn't see the sprue, the sprue number letter for that one, but it was right in the middle. I was blind. So that's that. And then, like I say, very, very clear instructions. It's not a full engine. It's just a sort of half-baked affair, but it looks like it could be improved if you wanted to add a few bits of wiring and that kind of stuff to it. But yeah, very, very clear instructions with the paint call-outs as you go for the underside, which is good. I get the impression that this is going to be a lot of detail painting before assembly, as you're in sub-assemblies. But yeah, very clear, nicely laid out instructions. Seems to be... No, I was dreaming. Yeah, the wings and stuff seem to go on pretty early, so it's obviously, it's not like like the cars I built previously, where you build the chassis up and then drop the body on top. It looks like the body's an integral part of the chassis, or certainly some of it is. But yeah, anyway, very, very nicely laid out, very clear to follow, and you can see there. So this is the upside down view. So yeah, the fenders and the running boards are already fitted to the chassis before the actual tub / cockpit, whatever you want to call it, goes on. I think they are rubber tyres. Like I say, I haven't opened the box, but let's have a look. They feel like they are rubber tyres, which is obviously a good thing. Yeah, so what can I say? Nice, clear, well laid out, nicely drawn, not too busy, not too many numbers and letters flying around on each stage, and getting to the final built-up model. So yeah, very nice. Colour call-outs on the back to match the box art, which I really like that colour scheme. So I don't think I would want to change that. I think if I do decide to do it glossy and shiny, that is the scheme I will go with, unless I find any swanky reference pictures. Yeah, but I do really like that. I do really like that. Oh, it looks like there could be a lot of work, but hey, we don't mind that. So that's the lovely instruction book. Like I say, I really like this for such a low budget, or low value, low budget. No, it's not low value. It's not low budget. Such a cost-effective kit. I think that's quite good. So let's have a look at the sprues then. Oh, these are in just a sticky envelope type bag, so no nasty staples to scratch your plastic. So we'll take all of these out at once. Put that to one side. Yes, the tyres are rubber. We'll put those over there for now. And put the clear parts over there for now. And what I am noticing straight away is that there are no decals. at all, which is interesting. None at all. So I'm assuming, because there's lots of little writing everywhere, all the writing is embossed onto the actual bodywork, which I guess is how it would have been in the day. So that's a really nice thing. But yeah, no decals at all. Even the sides of the fuel tank have the Ford logo embossed into it rather than going on with the decal. I like that a lot. Anyway, so let's have a look. We will start with, because it's logical, we will start with sprue A and have a quick look through. So we have sprue A and sprue B are joined together. I'm not going to I will leave them as they are. But what I will do is attempt to zoom my camera in. Oops, no, that's zooming out. So we can have a bit of a look around. So we've got the main chassis, which looks to have some texture around the footwells and on the running boards. Nice crisp, I don't know if they're seam lines or just body striping, but they're very nicely detailed. Then we've got some of the suspension assembly. I assume that's the back of the seat. Various other parts. I'll tell you what, let me turn this over. And that should hopefully help the camera to focus a little bit better. There we go, that's better. This looks to be part of the engine assembly. Looks like a rocker cover here. More engine parts down here, and the rest of the suspension on this side. So yeah, looks very well detailed. Doesn't look to be a lot of flash on there at all, if any. I can't see any that is very obvious, which is a good thing. Moving on to sprue B. I'm not going to hang around and go through this in slow time. I'll just go through, because I don't know what a lot of the parts are. So just so you can see the detail on there and the lack of flash. It's all very, very crisply moulded. I haven't seen one bit of flash yet at all. Exhaust assembly. I assume they're probably seats or... Oh, that could be the engine cover, couldn't it? The drive shaft, again, nice and crisp. Have we got a seam line down there? No. No, there isn't. Very slight one on this side. Don't know if the camera will pick that up. If I can keep it straight. There's a very, very slight seam line just in there, but it's barely noticeable. That's really good. Really nice. Really nice indeed. So that's sprue B. We'll put that to one side and look for sprue C. So again, more what looks to be sort of checker plate type affair on the footwell. Looks actually like the pedal box assembly here. Some nice little texture down there, which would be good if I choose to weather it, or I might do this shining out the box. These two are the sides of the fuel tank, which, like I say, if I turn that around, you can see the Ford logo there, which is nicely embossed into the plastic, which is nice. Various other small components. This is the fuel tank itself, if I can work out where my camera's going. There we go. This is the fuel tank itself, which comes in two halves. So I'm assuming there's probably going to be a bit of a seam to deal with there. The two front seats, a little bit, the two front seats, which have some quite nice detail actually. The cushions, so these are the two seat cushions, which have some nice sort of, what you call, is it fluting around the edge, which is obviously to replicate the cushion. And then on the inside of the seat backs, if I can show you that, excuse me waving the camera around, but some nicely moulded sort of leather effect there. That's really very nice. Very nice indeed. Ejector pin marks, I'm not seeing any in anywhere that's going to cause a problem. They all seem to be on the back, which is really nice. Sprue gates all seem to be, sprue gates all seem to be in sensible places. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Really good. So that's sprue C, which I think I'm right in saying that's the windscreen There's a clear part to go in there, which looks quite cool. Then we have sprue D, which is lots of small components. These look to be lamps and such like, and other shenanigans. That lovely radiator, which is really well cast, I think. Lots of nice detail on the front. Lovely embossed logo on the top. Once that's painted up in brass, that is going to look gorgeous. And then various other small components, all very crisply cast, and I'm struggling to see any sort of flash. So it's going to take a very little cleanup. As long as these parts go together reasonably well, then this is going to be a very nice and simple build by the look of it. Really nice, really good quality. Happy with that. Very chuffed indeed. This here looks like the frame for the back seat, possibly, something like that. Don't know. I don't know. But yes, very nice detail on there, very crisp. Here are the wheels. Nicely spoked wheels, which, as we've seen on the box art, would be green spokes with a green rim, brown wooden spokes, because there'll be wooden wheels, and then a green hub in the middle. Again, very nicely detailed. I'm looking and I can't see, maybe a tiny slight seam line inside these, the gaps between the spokes. Yeah, I think they're going to need a little bit of cleanup on the inside, but nothing major. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. I'm struggling to keep in shot there. I don't know if that camera's going to pick that up, but there is a seam line in between the spokes going all around the rim, which will need a little bit of cleanup. But that's really the first sort of necessary cleanup that I've seen. So they're going to come up very nicely, I think. Again, ejector pin marks on the back, nicely tucked out of the way. Sprue gates are all in the middle of the keep it in for shot, Grim. Sprue gates are all in the middle of the actual rim itself. And if you can see that in there, so it's nicely smack bang in the middle, so they're not sort of on the edge here, so you're not going to damage the actual rim, the edge of the rim as you take the sprues off, as you take the sprue gates off. So yeah, very good. Happy with that too. And let's look at the clear parts. So we've got two bags of clear parts. I'm not going to take these out. That is the windscreen that I mentioned earlier, which is, where's the camera ground there? Which is a little, no, you know what, I am going to take them out. I want to have a look and see how clear they are. So this is what I believe is the front windscreen. Where's the camera? There we go. Which is very clear. No distortion on that, or maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny little bit of distortion on that. And you get an angle, but that's very nice. I'll pop that back in there so it doesn't get scratched. And then the rest of the clear parts all look to be very clear too. So these look to be the front of the headlamps. Little tiny bit of distortion in these, but not very much at all. They're crisp enough, I think. And the front of the lamps have got, if I can get that in, tiny little bit of texture in them, but nothing to worry about. Certainly nothing that would be noticeable, I don't think. Looking at that. So that's the clear part sorted. Let's put that in that way, roll that back over, and keep those nice and safe. And then finally we have the tyres, which look to have some tread pattern on them as well, which is good. So we've got the 4 road wheels and then the 2 spares, because it carries a spare on either side, I believe. No, it just has 1 spare on the back. So it looks like we've got a complete spare, which is kind of nice. So let's bring this up. Have we got some? The camera's not going to focus because it's focusing on my hand. Excuse the white paint on my fingernail. No, the camera's just whiting out. There is some tread pattern on there, a little bit, but what I have noticed is, and that might just show just here, It's not going to focus. Yes, it is. There you go. Just there is where the rubber's been joined. And that's going to be a bit difficult to get rid of because this is quite soft rubber. I might have to just gently go over that with a sander, unless I can use that as the inside. Actually, no, that's probably going to be the inside of the... That's going to be the inside of the tyre. So that shouldn't cause too much of a problem because that side will be facing out, I think. So that's okay. Let's just see if they're all like that. Actually, no. It just appears that it might only be one or two of them. Oh, that one's got a bit of distortion on there as well at the top. So that might need a little bit of attention, but I'm sure it's not going to take much to sort that out. So that's the tyre sorted, and that is it. It's a lovely little, very highly detailed, well, very nicely detailed. I won't say highly detailed, but it's very nicely detailed little kit. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to building it. So I'm pretty sure. I'll zoom out again. I'm pretty sure that that Nikki has this still in stock at Veteranous Models. If you want to contact her, like I say, I think it was about £17 posted in the UK. Looks to be a great value kit. I can't fault it at all. So I hope that's made some sense. I've kind of rushed through it a little bit, I guess. But I've just noticed that part there. I'm going to address this. That part there that I originally thought was the windscreen is not the windscreen at all. It's a steering wheel. And then I also noticed somewhere else that there are the 4 spokes to go on the inside of the steering wheel. So you actually have to build the steering wheel up, which is kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. That's quite cool. So yeah, brilliant. Lovely little kit. I'm looking forward to building it. It's going to be a little bit of a while before I get to build it because I've got a couple of projects on the go and coming up. So once they're out the way, I'll probably end up building this around about summertime, I would think, unless I get an opportunity in between. So I hope that's made a lot of sense. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope it's encouraged you to go and buy one. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. As always, check out International Scale Modelling. That's what I always say. Friday night, live at the bench, 7:30 UK time, live show, all about scale modelling. We've got new kit releases, which is where I saw this particular model. We've got questions for the crew. We've got look at your work if you're on the forum or the Facebook group at International Scale Modeller. Post your work up there and we'll have a look at it on Friday night on the show live and give you some pats on the back and stuff. We've also got giveaways on there. We give away lovely prizes every week from our sponsors and from Ultimate Modelling Products. You should always check those out as well. umpretail.com for all of your ancillary needs. In fact, no, not even ancillary needs, because they do sell kits and stuff as well, resin kits and some lovely aircraft, etc. And some wonderful products such as airbrush cleaner, thinner, primer. You name it, they probably sell it. It's well worth checking out. And of course, as always, I will always say, please support Models for Heroes. If you don't know what Models for Heroes is about, please go to the website or the Facebook page, check them out and see if you can do anything to help those guys doing some excellent work for our Forces vets. And that, I think, sums up this particular video. So I will say bye for now. And I will hopefully speak to you all again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye now.